Now let's see some topics in compiler design. So one important topic is common sub-expression elimination. Okay, and we have two other topics called copy propagation and constant propagation. These topics are not very important, but still we'll discuss them. There may not be any gate question on these topics. Only if some theoretical questions may be possible. They are very small topics. Okay, now coming to common sub-expression elimination, later when we discuss about DAG, directed acyclic graph, DAGs are used in common sub-expression elimination, but if they give you a question in gate, you can do it manually without using any DAG support. Okay, so it is a very basic, very simple concept. Just by looking at the question, you will be able to answer it. I'll take an example and explain you. So what is basically a common sub-expression is, if an expression is occurring two times, then that qualifies to be common sub-expression. Only condition is between both the occurrences of the common expression, sub-expression, the variables should not change. Okay, so I'll just give you the definition here. So an occurrence of an expression E is called a common sub-expression if it is previously computed and the values of E does not change or did not change from the previous computation. For example, in this code, if you see it, if I have A equal to X plus Y plus Z, and if I have R equal to P plus Q, and then if I have B equal to X plus Y plus R, right? Now if you carefully observe, X plus Y is already computed here, and again it is computed here, right? And the value of either X or Y didn't change between these two, then X plus Y qualifies to be common sub-expression, right? Therefore you can say that X plus Y is a common sub-expression and it can be eliminated, right? So see, the concept is simple. When you are already computing it, don't compute it again, store it in a temporary variable and use the temporary variable in these two occurrences, right? So that is simple, right? So now what will you do is, you will compute using a temporary variable t equal to X plus Y, and now here and here you are going to put T and T, that is common sub-expression elimination. Got it? Okay, so the concept is, if something is already computed, we are going to use it. Okay, so now what are we going to do, when are we going to do common sub-expression elimination is in the optimization phase of the compiler. Okay, so whenever we are doing the optimization in compiler design, we are going to do common sub-expression elimination also, right? So what we do is, we'll use a variable and we'll compute it once and we'll store the result and we are going to use it again. Okay, let's see this example. So I hope this example is visible. Is this example visible? I hope this example is visible. X equal to A equal to X plus Y plus Z. So the previous one only. Now what are we going to do is, this X plus Y, we are going to compute it by writing T equal to X plus Y, and we are going to write T in both the places. Okay, we are going to write T here and T here. That is how common sub-expression is eliminated. Okay, now again if you observe it, here also you can see a common sub-expression, right? A equal to B into C, and again here also we have B into C. Now what do? Again you do the same thing, you compute it once and use it both the places, right? T1 equal to B into C, and A equal to T1 plus G, and D equal to T1 plus G. Got it? Now within a block, this is a basic block, right? So let us say this is a basic block. Now within a basic block, if you eliminate common sub-expression, then that is called as local common sub-expression elimination. So this is, the terminology is big, but the concept is very simple. Okay, within a basic block, if you try to eliminate the common sub-expression, then that is called as local common sub-expression elimination. Okay, so don't get worried because of the terminology. It is very simple. So now within the block you have to check where are all the places where the expressions are repeated, then you are going to eliminate them. Okay, now you can clearly see that 4 into I is computed here, right, and again 4 into I is computed here. Both at T6 and T7 both are doing the same thing. 4 into I is computed, right. We don't need at two places the same computation, therefore you can completely eliminate T7, and wherever T7 is present you can replace it with T6, right. So wherever T7 is present you can directly replace it with T6, right. And also you can see that 4 into J is computed here and 4 into J is computed here. See, one thing that you have to observe here is between these two computations of 4 into I or 4 into J, the value of I or J should not change. What I mean to say is 4 into I is computed here and 4 into I is computed here. In between these two computations, the value of I should not change, right? In case if the value of I changes, then it is not a common sub-expression. Got it? You cannot eliminate it. Now here if you observe it, 4 into J is computed and the value of J didn't change anywhere, and again you are computing 4 into J, right? Therefore again it can be eliminated. So this statement can be eliminated, and wherever T10 is there you can write T8. Got it? So I am just eliminating that. Okay, so I am just eliminating T7 and T10, and wherever T7 and T10 are there I am replacing it with T6 and T8. Okay, so see this, wherever T7 is there I replace it with T6, and wherever T10 is there I am replacing it with T8. So if you do this, then it is called as local common sub-expression elimination. You can also do it globally, which means if an expression is computed in some other block and if the same expression is used in this block, you can again eliminate it. That is called as global sub-expression. Now if this is the entire program and you have many blocks, right, again you can do the same. For example, here 4 into I is computed once, right, and 4 into I is computed here 2 times. So both these occurrences can be eliminated, right. And similarly 4 into J is computed here, right, and again 4 into J is computed here and here. Both of them can be eliminated. Here also 4 into I can be eliminated, right. So just try to do it manually. There is no way you can do it using a DAG in the exam, because for this entire program if I had to write DAG, it is going to take hell a lot of time. So manually you try to see whether they can be replaced or not. Now one thing that you have to be careful here is, if 4 into I is computed here and if you want to eliminate it in this block, then in all the paths leading from this block to this block, the value of I should not change. Okay, so in this program the value of I didn't change. Okay, and from here the value of J didn't change till the end, so that is why you are able to replace it. Now this process is called as global common sub-expression elimination. Why? Because you are looking at many blocks, that is why. Okay, so you do it manually, you can understand it. So what has happened here is, so 4 into I, if you see it, it is computed here. Therefore I can completely eliminate T6 as well as T7. So you are not going to see T6 and T7, right? The number of now lines are very less. So wherever T6 and T7 were earlier used, I have simply replaced it with T2. Okay, and similarly 4 into J is computed already here, and therefore wherever 4 into j is there, 4 into j is here and here, these two statements can be completely eliminated, and instead of T8 and T10 I can directly use T4. So that is why you will see T4 here, right? The same kind of optimization can be applied here as well. So this kind of question can be is possible in GATE. Okay, so they will give you a very big program, and then they will ask you to eliminate the common sub expression, and then they will ask you how many lines are remaining in block B5, block B6, like this. Okay, so don't just look at the common sub expressions in a block, you just look at all the blocks and you try to see it. So just be careful in one point. Even though 4 into I is computed here, from this block, when you are coming to this block, on the path, see that the value of I doesn't change. Otherwise it is not a common sub expression. Got it? Got it? Got it, guys? Okay, now the next one is copy propagation. So whenever you try to eliminate the common sub expression, then you will be introducing copies, right? So I'll just, this example is there, but I'll just take an example and explain you. Now let us say t equal to x plus y is there, and then somewhere v equal to x plus y is there, right? Now you can replace this x plus y by t. Now v equal to t is called a copy. If an instruction is not doing anything, if it is just copying a value, see this is copying the value of t into v, right? Then those instructions are actually not required. Why? Because instead of writing t equal to v, or sorry, v equal to t, wherever v is used, you could directly eliminate this statement, and wherever v is used, right, wherever, let us say some t equal, some x equal to v plus y is there, something like this is there. Now wherever v is used, you could directly replace it with t and you could eliminate this statement. So this is called as copy propagation, right, or sometimes called as copy elimination. Okay, now this is a very simple concept. You don't have to do anything, just you eliminate the copy, and wherever that left hand side is there, replace it with the right hand side. So in this concept there might not be any gate question, okay, but you just read that definition that I have given you. Okay, in order to eliminate the common sub expression, so I'm talking about this example. Okay, so I'm talking about this example. Now let us say we have two basic blocks like this, and after these basic blocks, any one of them are over, this basic block is executed. Therefore this d plus e is a common sub expression and d plus e is a common sub expression, right? Now if you have to eliminate this common sub expression, then you could compute d plus e once and you can write the value there. That is being done here, right? So we are computing d plus e once, t equal to d plus e, and I am copying that value of t here, c equal to t, and I am writing a equal to t, right? Now the problem is the control can come in this direction, which means after these statements the control can come here, or the control can also come through this, right? Therefore you have to be careful there. Both the sides you have to change it. Okay, both these sides you have to change it and write it, because we don't know if the control comes. So if you just replace here and if you directly write it here, the control might come from this side, and if control is coming from this side, it doesn't know what the value of t, right? Therefore we have to write like this. Now the problem with this method is a copy is introduced, right? So these are the copies, right? These are the copies, and this is a copy. Now you might feel that why do we need a at all? I could directly eliminate a, right? I could directly eliminate a, and then I could directly write t equal to d plus e, and this statement is not required. Similarly, I could directly eliminate this statement b equal to t, and I can directly use it. Yes, in this program you will be able to do that, right? But if there are more statements in this block, and if those statements are using a, there you have to be careful. You have to replace all those a's with t, and then you can eliminate. You can definitely eliminate. Are you getting this? So what I am trying to say is, when you try to eliminate the common sub-expression, you will actually introduce copies, right? And whenever you introduce copies, you can actually delete them. But when you are deleting them, just be careful in order to avoid the corruption of the program. So what you have to do is check clearly all the statements in the block or in the program, and whenever you are avoiding a copy, whenever you are deleting a copy, see that wherever that variable is used in the program, you replace it with the right hand side. Then you can definitely eliminate it, right? For example, even this one is a copy, right? C equal to t plus t is a copy, but you can eliminate it only when, if there are statements below it. Let us say if the statement below it is like this, c plus a, something like this, right? If you want to eliminate it completely, then you replace this c with t. If you do that, you can eliminate it. Okay, so that is why it is a very simple concept, and there might not be any gate question because they cannot ask you a difficult question here. Got it? Just go through this once. Now I want to eliminate the copy. Can you see the copy here, guys? So the copy here is x equal to t3, right? If I have to eliminate this copy, then as x is used here, you replace it with t3, and then this can be eliminated, right? Once you replace it with t3, then there is no need. Okay, got it? You have to check the entire program. Okay, when you are eliminating x completely, there can be another basic block in which the value of x might be used, and therefore if you eliminate x completely here, then there will be a problem here, right? If you eliminate x here, then you have to replace it with t3 in the entire program. Okay, you have to be careful there. Okay, and next one is constant propagation. So constant propagation says that whenever, okay, I don't think that this code is visible. Just check if this code is visible. Okay, so here what it is, so there is a statement x equal to 14. Okay, and here there is an usage of x. Okay, 7 minus x divided by 2, right? So what does constant propagation say is, whenever a variable is simply a constant like this, you just replace it with the constant, so that during the compile time this entire value can be calculated, or even if the compile time doesn't calculate the value, still replacing x by 14 in the entire code will save you time. Why? Because if I have to use the value of x, if I use the variable x, then every time it is used, then I have to do a memory read, right? I have to read 14 from the memory. But if you can replace all the occurrences of x with 14, that actual time can be saved. So that is constant propagation. So constant propagation is not a very important topic. You might not get any questions from it, but still it is important that you know about it. That's it. Thank you. Hi all. So if you are watching this video for the first time, my name is Ravindra Babu Raula and I'll be teaching all the subjects of computer science. Okay, and I have done my masters from IISc Bangalore. I was 2 times 2-digit ranker, not a great achievement, but yeah. And if you want my GATE classes, you can register on Unacademy app, and if you want 10% discount on whatever you register on Unacademy, use the code RRCS. Okay, so my code is RRCS. If you want the GATE classes, the fee is after discount, if you use my code, is 27,000 for 1 year and 39,600 for 2 years. Okay, so if you are from, let's say, second year then or third year, go for 2-year subscription. If you are in final year, you can take 1-year subscription. Now there are 2 kinds of packages available. So one is called Iconic. So let's talk about Plus first. So one is called Plus and the other one is Iconic. You can either go for Plus or Iconic. Now in Plus you are going to get all the video lectures, doubt clearing, as well as test series, and lot of quizzes will be there. And coming to Iconic, you are going to be assigned a mentor, and he is going to mentor you in all the subjects. So either personally or related to subjects, and he will give you the study plan, and whenever you are demotivated or not doing well in the test series, he will help you out. Okay, it is kind of hand holding. So you can go for Iconic if you want a mentor. Okay, and generally these mentors are last year rankers who are already doing masters, or those who have already done their masters. Generally the rankers will be the mentors. Okay, so that is all about Iconic and Plus. And this, you can register for GATE classes on Unacademy, or I will also be teaching competitive programming on Unacademy. If you want to register for competitive programming, you can register the same way, RRCS for 10% discount. Okay, and in future I'll be starting machine learning as well. I'll keep you updated. Thank you.